Welcome back once again, all of my low carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Today I have another very easy keto, egg-free, and dairy-free recipe for you. Today I am going to show you how to make quick and simple, easy, egg-free keto hamburger / sandwich buns. Now you might have already seen on my channel that I do have some other egg-free bread and bun recipes, but this recipe I like much better. Those other recipes, they're good, but this is great. It has a great texture, a great taste, and I actually like it better than my egg bread recipes. So if you want a printable version of this recipe, you can check out my website at janet'sdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find a printable version of this recipe and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots of easy, delicious, low-carb keto recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I put out videos, at least every Wednesday and Saturday. And if you'd like to help support the channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. You'll see some affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything using those affiliate links, a small portion of your purchase will go to me and help support the channel. So while you do all that, let's get cooking. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees. Lightly spray 5 4-inch round hamburger bun molds. If you don't have any hamburger bun molds, you can check out my article on my website on how to make foil ring molds, or you can just line a baking sheet and once the dough's all mixed together, you can shape the hamburger buns freehand style. They won't be as uniformly shaped as if you were to use the molds, but they will still look good and taste good. Set your baking sheet aside for just a minute. In a small bowl, combine 26 grams or around a 1/4 cup of golden flaxseed meal or chia seed meal. If you're using the whole seeds, make sure you very finely grind the seeds first, then measure out 26 grams or a 1/4 cup of the finely ground flax or chia seeds. Add 177 milliliters or around 3/4 cup of room temperature water. Use a fork and stir the water and the flaxseed meal together until everything is fully combined. Then set the mixture aside and allow it to sit for at least 10 minutes or until it becomes gummy in texture. While the flax meal and water are sitting, in a large mixing bowl, combine 112 grams or around 1 cup of coconut flour, 9 grams or around 1 tablespoon of instant dry yeast. This is not going to help your burger buns to rise or anything like that. I tell you guys this every time. Coconut flour bread really doesn't rise very much. Even with the help of yeast, it does not rise. We add the yeast strictly for flavor. The flavor of the yeast helps eliminate some of that coconut flour taste and helps your bread to taste a little bit more like traditional hamburger buns would taste. Add 15 grams or around 1 tablespoon of baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. If you want to, you can add some dry herbs or some dry seasonings of your choice. This will also help kind of tone down any coconut flour taste if you're oversensitive to coconut flour. I'm keeping mine just neutral flavored, so I'm not adding any herbs or seasonings. Add another 26 grams or around a 1/4 cup of flaxseed meal or chia seed meal. And again, if you're using the whole seeds for these, grind them first, then measure them out. The reason why we're keeping this flaxseed meal separate from the flaxseed and water mixture that we mixed together in the beginning, the flaxseed and water mixture is mainly for helping to bind the ingredients together and to give some moisture to the dough. This flaxseed, however, that's separate and not mixed in with the water, this is strictly for texture and structure. This is going to help your burger buns have a little bit more of a taste and texture closer to traditional hamburger buns. Sift everything all together until everything is fully combined and there are no lumps in the dry ingredients. Add a 1/2 cup of butter that's been melted and cooled. Make sure it is cooled. You do not want to add hot butter. If you're wanting this to be completely dairy-free, you can use melted coconut oil or any oil of your choice. Stir the butter in until everything is fully combined and all the dry ingredients are moist. Add 120 grams or around a 1/2 cup of room temperature plain yogurt or sour cream. Again, if you're wanting to keep this dairy-free, you can use a dairy-free yogurt or a dairy-free sour cream substitute. If you are using yogurt, make sure it is Greek yogurt or a yogurt that is thick. This, along with your flaxseed water mixture, is another big part of binding your ingredients together. Add 5 milliliters or around 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. Now, this is not going to make your hamburger buns taste like vinegar. The purpose for adding this is so that it will react a little bit more with the baking powder, causing a little bit more gas bubbles in your dough when it is baking, which will help your dough to have a little bit less dense texture. Stir the yogurt or sour cream and the apple cider vinegar in until everything is fully combined. Check on your flaxseed and water mixture. Make sure it has set for at least 10 minutes and is gummy and sticky in texture. It's okay if it's a little bit watery. You just want it mostly to be getting gummy and have a sticky type texture to it. Pour the flaxseed and water mixture into your dough. Then sprinkle in 3 grams or around 1 teaspoon of xanthan gum or psyllium husk powder. Yes, you need the xanthan gum or the psyllium husk powder. If you don't have either, you can use a little bit more of very finely ground flax seeds or chia seeds. Basically, the xanthan gum is going to help partially with binding, but mostly it is going to give your dough some stretch and some flexibility. So when you go to shape the dough into burger bun shapes, the dough will hold together well and it will keep its shape. So you do definitely need the xanthan gum or psyllium husk powder. Stir everything all together until everything is fully combined and a smooth dough begins to form. Once the dough is combined, give your dough another stir for at least a good 30 seconds or so. This is going to help your dough be more smooth, have more elasticity so that when you shape your dough, it holds together better and a little bit more light in texture. Scrape down the sides of your bowl and push the dough to the center of your bowl. Allow the dough to sit uncovered at room temperature for at least 10 minutes. This is going to help the dough absorb any extra moisture and help those binding agents to start binding all the ingredients together. Do not skip this step of allowing your dough to sit. If you do not allow the dough to sit, then it will not absorb extra moisture. And when you go to bake your bread, it will have a wet, gummy center and possibly not hold together well. After 10 minutes, check the texture of your dough. The dough should be moist and very lightly sticky, but it should not be sticking to your fingers. Pull off a small portion of the dough and roll it around in your hands until it forms a smooth, tight ball. Your dough should come together easily and should roll together easily. It should hold its shape easily and be nice and smooth. Divide the dough into 5 equal portions, which is roughly a little over 7 tablespoons in each portion if you want to measure it out. Place each dough portion into the center of your prepared hamburger bun molds or on your prepared baking sheet if you're not using the hamburger bun molds. Roll each dough scoop into smooth, tight balls. Then press the dough balls evenly throughout your hamburger bun molds. If you're not using the hamburger bun molds, then use your hand and slightly flatten the top of the dough balls until you have shaped the ball into a hamburger bun shape. Make sure as you are pressing the dough out, you're keeping the dough smooth at all times. If there are any cracks or creases, make sure you just rub your fingers over the crack or crease and smooth it out. Once the buns are all shaped in the molds or on your baking sheet, if you want a darker top, which is more like a traditional hamburger bun or sandwich roll, then just brush the top with a little bit of melted butter or egg wash. Once you've brushed the top with the melted butter or the egg wash, you can leave it as it is, or if you want to, you can sprinkle a little bit of sesame seeds over the top of the melted butter or the egg wash, whatever you're using. If you do choose to put the seeds on top of the buns, make sure you use the back of a measuring cup and just kind of press the seeds a little bit down into the melted butter or egg wash. Once your hamburger buns are all shaped, place it in your preheated oven. Bake at 400 degrees for about 25 minutes or until the buns are golden and a tester comes out clean. Once the buns are done baking, remove them from the oven. Allow them to cool in the molds or on your baking pan for at least 20 minutes so they can firm up. Once they're firm, remove them from their molds or from the baking sheet and transfer them to a wire rack. Then allow them to cool completely before slicing them. Once the buns are cooled completely, turn the buns on their sides and use a sharp knife to cut the bun in half and create a top and a bottom bun. You can use these immediately for burgers or sandwiches or any recipe that you need burger or sandwich buns for. If you do have any leftovers, store them in an airtight container at room temperature for up to 3 days, or wrap them and store them in a freezer-safe container in your freezer for up to 3 months. Eat and enjoy.
And that's our recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button, leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.